let's welcome Lewis and Joel to the museum.
Hi.
Welcome. Do you want some water for?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, sure.
You want some?
I'll take a water. Why
Okay.
not? Yeah.
Okay. You want anything?
I'm okay. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh my Lord, that was horrible.
Oh, he's got a Modelo there for me.
Thank you. I'm okay. Thank you.
I'm nervous.
I'm going to walk around the back
Nervous.
so I don't do that again.
Oh, amazing.
Here you go.
Thank you, Martin.
There's one just in case.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Where are you in the middle of a tour? What's happening at the moment?
Not a tour this time.
Yeah.
We're just here flying in for the show tomorrow, and that's pretty much it.
Which is a rarity. We're always on the road, so yeah, it's nice to just come in and enjoy the city for once. Yeah, it's really cool.
So, and how long have you been playing Chicago?
I think the first time that we played here must have been 2018 on our first tour.
2018 or
Must have been like maybe the winter, December of 2018 or possibly 2019.
Do you remember where that would be?
Yeah, I do.
The Burlington?
Yeah,
the
Burlington.
Burlington.
The Burlington?
Yeah, the Burlington.
Okay. And what's the capacity there?
Ooh, I don't remember that.
150. Andrew knows. Yeah.
Was it full?
It wasn't sold out, right?
No, probably not. No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
And so you're at the Concord tomorrow?
Correct. Yeah.
And what's that? That's 1,500?
Oh,
13.
Andrew.
13.
Andrew would
13.
know.
Yeah, Andrew knows.
13.
What is the
13,
exact?
back there? He knows what's up.
1325.
Oh yeah, down to the
Okay.
exact.
So, how awesome! Like you're proving that it can be done, right? I listened to an interview you did with Ari's Take, who seemed startled and amazed that you made cassettes and made it happen. But to me, you took the DIY path. Starting in Brownsville,
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
that's so. I'm not making a comment on the city,
Yeah.
but from a touring perspective, it's fucked. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not close to anything.
No.
You're 7. How far is it from San Antonio?
4
4
hours.
hours north.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Austin
5 hours.
5.
and Houston,
6.
6. Yeah.
El
6.
Paso.
12.
Yeah, I mean, this is like So I wrote a book about touring. That's why I'm. So it's kind of like possibly the worst
Oh yeah.
place you could pick to from.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it feels like we're never going to get out of Texas when we go to the West Coast. You know, we're getting to El Paso is a whole day's trek, really.
Yeah, on our first tour, we played El Paso, and I just remember right before playing, I said, "We're Twin Tribes. We're from Texas." And we were in Texas. It's
Yeah,
like,
we're still in Texas.
Yeah, it just seemed like we have been driving forever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Right.
It's a long ways.
So, tell me about the beginning. Like, first off, what instruments do you play and why?
Okay.
I play guitar and synth, and that's how I play for Twin Tribes.
Yeah, I mean, I play bass guitar, do a little bit of the keys as well. On your why question, when I was younger, like 6th grade or whatever, I played the tuba in the band. So, and I was like the smallest kid too. I had to have like 2 algebra books to sit on to reach the mouthpiece. But naturally, that morphed into like the director saying, "Hey, we need a bass guitar player for the jazz band, the second jazz band," and he gave me a book, and that's how I learned. Yeah.
And have you bid farewell to the tuba?
It's always right here. Tuba never. Once you're a tuba player, it never goes away.
So I don't know what you know about Nine Inch Nails, but Trent was marching band saxophone.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
That's how I met Trent in Cleveland. We needed someone in a horn section, and my friend says, "Well, I play the trumpet. My friend plays the saxophone," and it was true. So this is wildly symmetrical.
Sure.
That's so cool.
So why did you start playing the guitar?
For me, my why was I remember my dad recorded a documentary about Kiss, and this was like in a Mexican TV channel, or I'm not sure, but I remember watching that for the first time. I was just blown away, and I would watch it, and I was like in 5th or 6th grade, and I would watch it over and over and over and over, and I became obsessed with Kiss, and that was the reason why I wanted to play the guitar. I told my dad, like, there was an acoustic with no strings there, and my dad used to play the guitar, so I remember telling him, like, I really want to learn. So I remember him telling me, go get a pack of strings and let's string it up. He taught me how to tune, and that's really what got me, playing the guitar.
Wow. So then, how do we go from that to wanting to subject yourselves to gigging to a not full small venue, hundreds of miles, 1,000 miles plus from home? Like, what drove that?
I honestly think that just the love of the music at first. Joel and I have been in bands, probably since we were like 15, 16 years old. So we've really been in bands with like 4 or 5 members, and before Twin Tribes, we were in a band together, and we were playing gigs for 20 people, 10 people, 15 people, and we were doing it, not making any money, and we were doing it for the love of it. So once that band it came to an end, and we were writing music for Twin Tribes, or what later would become Twin Tribes, it was already in us. It was already like, we don't really care if if anything happens. All we want to do is record this that we really like and put it into a tape.
Yeah.
And that was the goal. And we didn't really have anything in mind. Like we would see. I remember we were in the studio recording Shadows, and we saw the lineup for Cold Waves in 2018 or 2017.
Yeah.
And we saw Drap Majesty and a bunch of bands, and we were like, wow, wouldn't it be cool, that we do that one day.
Yeah.
But that's all we had in mind.
And that brings me we would daydream a lot.
Yeah.
We'd be like, oh man, can you imagine playing Cold Waves, or playing one of these other cool festivals, or touring with She Passed Away, or doing stuff like that. And, it all started from the love of it, and I can attest to that. If after making the cassette, nobody bought it, or it didn't go anywhere, I think we'd still probably be doing it,
Yeah. We had full-time jobs. We were doing it. We had no really reason, right, or necessity, but it was just the love of the music and wanting to, put something out there that we were really proud of.
Sure.
So that's one of my favorite. Well, I don't know if it was my favorite question. It was one of my favorite answers. From David J. from Powerhouse was here a couple of months ago. I said, "What shitty jobs have you had?" And he was a woodcutter or something, but he was an ice cream man, who drives and he said that his act of defiance was he slowed the music down as much as it was possible to slow it, and that was his job for 2 weeks. So what were your jobs?
Wow, that is such a
How much
cool
time
job.
you got?
Well, and the reason I like to ask a question like that is I teach, and I have students who are, what are you going to do? I'm going to be a bass guitar. Yeah, you're not, but you're going to be a bass guitarist and 5 other things.
Sure.
And I like to ground them in the reality of David J. was an ice cream man.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
That is so cool. You go first.
Okay, well, to your point, I also was kind of in a similar career path as David J. at that moment. We have what we call the elotes, the guy, the vendor who goes around and makes corn in a cup, tacos, where we're from, like that's all the craze. But I worked with my dad in one of those, and I would like put the mayonnaise on the elote. I'd put the cheese and the chile and everything, and I was a kid, and I mean, but you know, I was just like, cool, let's do it. You know, I get free food if I go with my dad. So that was one of my first ones. I wouldn't say it's shitty. I actually enjoyed it because I got to eat like snow cones and raspas as a kid. But that was one of my first ones. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is
crazy.
awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Man, for me, honestly, I didn't have any jobs like that as a kid, other than the classic chores. But I was a little privileged because my dad was like, he would not allow it, and he was like, no, you're gonna go to school. And honestly, I lived in the U.S., but being born in Mexico, so I really couldn't have a regular job, So I didn't end up working until after college, and I was a translator for a couple of years, and I worked from home, and it was basically like if I was working at a call center. And aside from that, I took over the family business, and I was a truck salesman for a while.
Yeah.
Just super random, but yeah, that's just picking up after what my family built, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so does any part of that, like, so I want to be really, I've seen a couple of podcasts where the person who I won't mention spends so much fucking time talking about themselves, right? So I don't want to talk about myself, I'm here to talk to you, but when I came up in the late 70s, 80s, it was still that idea of the people in the band are mysterious and backstage, and there was a distance between the band and the audience that was sometimes manufactured, sometimes intentional, mostly intentional. Has all of this work and the traveling and the small crowds at first and running this yourself, has this changed how you perceive the audience? Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I guess. Are you assholes?
I don't know.
I like to say that we're not,
Yeah,
but every now and then we bump into promoters, and they'll say, "Wow, it's so cool that you guys are not dicks," or it's so cool you guys are so easy to talk to or hang out with, and that's I hope that's the vibe that we give off, because I don't think that we're better than anybody else, or I don't think that we're rude or anything has changed. We're still the same guys that were making music in 2017. So yeah.
Yeah, the only thing's changed, maybe slightly bigger rooms, but overall, since we first started, we would play our show, and then one of us like collects all of our stuff, and the other one goes straight to the merch table and begins talking to people, because I mean, those are hopefully your new fans. Like that's what you've got to, like, it's ingrained into us anyways. Why are you going to be mean to somebody who's there to watch you, spend good money to maybe buy a CD ticket? Like it just doesn't make sense, right, to just be a complete jerk. So we've done our best to stay grounded, stay humble, of course, do as much as we can, and sometimes it's not possible, right, because some of the larger rooms and you get mobbed, and you're kind of like there for hours sometimes, and which is fine, but we do what we can when we can. Like, this is such a cool opportunity to be able to have people in here, fans, kind of get a little bit closer, and we can talk about our life experiences, and we love that. It's a human connection, and we want to keep that as pure as possible, if that makes any sense.
It's great. And I mean, I think the way the internet is, you can be an asshole, but you're going to be an asshole to an audience of not many people.
Right.
It's kind of the only way to be anymore. So, touring. Do you play every day early on? Like, how rough was that?
The early days was, well, we still had day jobs. So I was teaching at the time in 2017. I was a Spanish teacher. Joel was a financial advisor, and we could only tour during the summer when I was off, and he would take all his vacation to tour during the summer. So we would only tour max 2 weeks, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And then we would do the next tour, which was in December when I had my vacations, and then he would have his days off. So we would just tour for those 2 weeks, and whatever we can get, any shows, we're booking ourselves. Yeah. We're doing everything, and there's 3-day weekends or Labor Day weekend. Let's fly out. Let's try to play out of Texas. Let's do this. Let's do that. So always trying to find little windows with what we can do, right?
Yeah. Before we had our lovely agent Andrew, we would reach out through message boards, through Facebook groups, DJs. We'd look up goth nights, 80s nights. I mean, when we first started, we were just we were opening for DJs. Like, that's what we were doing. There's a goth night. Okay, cool. Can we play before the DJ goes up? Great. And so we'd set up and do like 30 minutes, and then that's how it was. But it was every day. Like, it was, we need to make the most of the time that we have. So let's just go for it.
See, some bands, a lot of bands, were like, this is our dream, so we're going to quit our day jobs as the first thing, and then put themselves under all of that financial stress, and then try and make a go of it, and try and get more money than perhaps they were worth, and have everything be so stressful. Instead of, you did it kind of really smartly.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing that would always be behind our minds. Like, when are we going to make that jump? Like, when are we going to be able to afford to do a full tour, and when are we going to leave our jobs? And it was a huge leap, right? It was a huge leap that happened because a lot of things happened, but we were able to kind of meet Andrew that same year.
I think so.
We met Andrew like around maybe February of 2020.
Yeah. So then
COVID hit, so we were locked down.
And here we go.
And that was right after our second album release.
Did you given up your jobs?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. So I was still teaching from home, and you were probably working from home.
Yeah, I was still working. Yeah. No, I was working. Yeah, I was working from home at that point because of the COVID thing.
Yeah.
So, but after they started kind of like easing the, what would you call it, like the regulations or whatever. Well, we put a tour together, which was like 3 months back to back. And of course, any job that you kind of do that and you say, hey, I need 3 months off, they're gonna say, fuck no, right? They're gonna say like, you're crazy. Thankfully, I had a pretty cool boss at that point. He's like, dude, just work from where you're at and just, give you less hours.
That's amazing.
Super
and
cool.
I tried, but except I was in Europe and they were in Texas. And so like they were expecting me to do kind of things. Yeah, it's like 4 a.m. over there. It's like whatever time it is in Texas. But it was tough, and I was like, you know what, I can't do it. So, I think this is that's the moment that when I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. I've got to do it, because I kept going back to the fact that if I don't want to be like this is extreme, but I'm dramatic. When I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to say, I could have done that, I should have done that, at least.
Well, and I don't know if it's just like this, the last few months, we've lost a bunch of people. So when you say, I mean, I'm 67 next week. I mean, a bunch of us are not here anymore. So it's not incorrect to think like that. So how much did your financial advising, were you running spreadsheets going, if we were doing 10 more shows and selling 8 more shirts, we could do this? Like,
I have a spreadsheet for every day of the week. Every color you could ever imagine, I have in a spreadsheet. And Luis knows, like,
so many.
I'm like, I have like I'm just, spreadsheets galore. But yeah, I mean, tour budgeting, album budgeting, how much are we going to get paid? How much should we set aside to save for the album? Like, that's all stuff that when you're doing it on your own, these are the things that you got to think of, because you're taking the place of a label.
Everybody.
Everybody,
Yeah.
PR, advertising nowadays, like, but we have to, make these decisions. We're going to play Concord Music Hall tomorrow. Okay, how much of that are we saving for the new album we want to record? How much do we need to invest into, putting some ads out there, right? Because everybody knows in the age of social media now, like somebody, you can post 5 times and somebody still may not reach or get that, hey, like I'm coming to Chicago. It's not even so much like, right, we're trying to like spam our ads, but it's like they just don't get it sometimes.
Even then, people would be like, "Come to Chicago,"
Yeah.
or come to anyway.
The
And
day
it's
after
just
the
like,
show, yeah.
damn, we just played.
Shit. Well,
Yeah.
next time.
It got to the point with Pigface where it's there's 2 of you, which fuck am I so jealous of that. Pigface, the last time we played was 3 bass players, 7 drummers. Never mind just keeping the sound guy from losing it. How many drum kits? 7.
So many members.
So many members. Like I'm sure to feed 10 people.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've completely forgotten the point I was going to make.
Yeah, totally cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned recording and saving for recording. You haven't seen this yet. I'm happy to show you. I have Steve Albini's tape machine downstairs. He's another local hero here in Chicago. I started my own studio because I was giving all of my money for the record label to other studios. So it didn't take a genius to go, I'm going to start my own. How do you record your music, and how has that changed, and how are you going to record?
Yeah, for us it was also little by little. At first, we used an really old computer that I used to use for work when I was translating or doing work stuff, teaching stuff. So I remember we were doing a remix for Clan of Zymox in this super old, slow computer, and we were able to make it work. Yeah. And then after that, we were like, I think that we need to upgrade our stuff.
Probably a good idea.
So I remember the time that we started making a little bit of money, and we were able to afford to buy a nice computer, and we had a couple of synths already. We had a Roland JX3P from the 80s. We had a TR-707 drum machine, and we started collecting little by little. So I remember one of our first paydays, I was like, I'm going to buy a synth. I'm going to buy this. I was so excited. So little by little, we started our collection, and it's in a garage. It's in my house in a garage, and we closed it up, turned it into a studio. For a while, that was our headquarters for merch and music. Yeah. So we would always have a bunch of stuff in there. Eventually, we outgrow the garage, right?
Yeah,
we outgrow the garage.
Sure,
so Joel's having to look for a spot where we're going to do merch, where we're going to set up, what's going to be our headquarters over here, while we have the studio still. So that's what we use for practice in Brownsville. That's where we practice. That's where we come up with the set list. That's where we write our music, and we create our demos there. And once we have our demos, then that's where we move to the studio, a studio to record everything properly. But that's where we were.
And locally, right? We met the first person to record Shadows, our first album.
Alan Michael.
I'm bad with names sometimes, but Alan. He recorded us, and it was like somebody's extra building. Remember, it was on somebody's property. Like the guy, I guess he had a banda or something, right? Like so he would play on the weekends, but he also had like this studio, and they allowed Alan to record there, and that's what we recorded. We were just
and a lot of things happened by coincidence because I knew what I wanted to sound like, but I didn't own a Fender Strat, and I ended up borrowing one from a friend. I didn't own a Roland amplifier, and Alan happened to have one, and he happened to have a Strat, and he happened to have like everything that we really wanted. He had an actual Lindrum drum machine,
right? That's right.
and he had the Prophet OBX. He had a bunch of analog stuff. So it was kind of like, and we found him on Facebook, just a Facebook post that he posted in a group of, Brownsville or the Valley musicians. And he said, I'm recording, specializing in analog gear. And I showed Joel, I was like, dude, that's our guy.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have gear.
Yeah.
Eventually we started.
And you recorded to tape. The first one was recorded to tape, right?
Yeah, everything was analog.
Everything
was analog.
Yeah, that first one. Yeah.
Holy shit.
But after that, then it's kind of like I think we started kind of mixing both, right? I don't know if Ceremony was tape anymore. I think that was digital at that point.
It was still tape,
Yeah.
but by the time that we recorded our most recent album, Pendulum, we did digital stuff there, and we just decided to change things up and to try new synths or plugins or whatever.
Yeah.
But we tried to use it, and we felt like we exploited everything we had, so we need new stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So where are you going to record next? Is there somewhere you aspire to record, or somebody you aspire to record with, like a producer or somebody?
Great question.
We have a couple of options, honestly. I think this is the first time that we've been thinking of recording somewhere outside of home. We're still writing, we're currently writing our next album, and we're writing, in the garage. But once we're ready, we've been talking about, like, why don't we record somewhere? And one of the places that came to mind was this studio that's in the middle of nowhere in Texas. I guess it's close to El Paso, called Sonic Ranch. And so many cool bands from Mexico and from the U.S. have recorded there. So that's, and it's still in Texas, so I guess that's kind of cool. So that's one option. I know that we haven't finalized. We're still thinking.
Does it have to be in Texas?
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. Yeah, it doesn't have to. No, I think that we also looked at. We were playing a show in Oklahoma somewhere, and they happen to have an amazing studio there. So that's another option.
There's some wild stuff going on in Tulsa.
Yeah, Tulsa
was in
has.
Tulsa. That
It's
was in
called
Tulsa.
the church.
The
Yeah, the
church.
church.
Oh, okay. I was there.
Yeah.
when somebody was, the guy who used to manage PIL lives in Tulsa now. It's like, we're going to go and see the church, the studio, Leon Redbone's studio.
That's
like,
it.
okay. And it was just basically rubble, and there's a person there with some blueprints. I'm like, well, this is what and now it's really
Beautiful.
cool.
It's beautiful, yeah.
You got a chance to see
I
it,
got
right?
to, yeah. I think we've only played Tulsa once, but they invited us to go take a tour. I went early in the morning and got to get the full tour. They told me about the Leon Redbone, the whole history of the church, and I thought it was super cool. But it is a beautiful studio, and yeah, I had mentioned it to Luis, also something that we looked into. So they also have a campus on there. So. But yeah, it's just everything for this new album is new as well. I mean, we're also working with another producer now, Ryan. Ryan, he's up in Canada. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of new stuff going on for this next album that we're excited about, and that includes different studios and just getting out of our own comfort zones and yeah, we're excited.
So so now you tour the world. Anywhere, especially that you're like, holy shit? Because I'm sure people in Brownsville are like, oh, here they are. They saw you play to 5 people, then you play to 20. So that they love you as local heroes, but the mystique. But you go somewhere else now. You walk in as these developed performers. Is there a place that was like, holy shit?
A place that was like, holy shit. Oh, man.
We got to come back, or unexpectedly wild response?
Yeah, there's been a few.
There's
been a few.
The
Good
first one,
answer.
the first one I can think of was L.A. I mean, LA's always been really good to us, and yeah, we always make this joke is that when we go to LA, kind of people will know us. We were in a stadium. We went to go see a soccer game, and then somebody's like, "You're in Twin Tribes, can we take a picture?" Right?
Wow.
Thousands of people.
Okay.
And they pointed us out, but when we go home, nobody really knows us.
Were you on the jumbotron?
I wish. Yeah, no, that would have been nice. But yeah, I think it's reversed. When we're home, nobody really knows who we are. But when we're away from there, that's where.
Yeah, I tell my fiance all the time, we're gonna go to the dollar store and I'm wearing Crocs. Nobody knows me here. It's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the vibe. But I remember when we booked. Well, we had just started working with Andrew, and that was 2021. And I remember when the LA room, we sold it out, and it was a 300 cap, I think, and then it got upgraded. Then it got upgraded, and like we ended up selling out that show. And it was our first sold out show, and it was 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And the times that we had played LA by that time was like, we played a small festival for like 20 people, and then we played, open up for Bestial Mounts, and that was not sold out, I think, but it was crazy to see that first sold out show, and it was a pretty cool lineup too.
Yeah.
And then after that,
Was that your gig where you headline?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
we were
talk about that for a second, because some people never get past 30 people.
Yeah.
You know, and all their friends and family begrudgingly come to support them. There you are in LA. How many years is that in?
That was 2021, when we sold out that show. We had already played LA maybe 2 or 3 times. And the last 2 or 3 shows before that one were definitely not sold out. And the biggest one before that was probably, and it was also at the, Andrew, do you remember the? It was at the Echoplex. We played at the Echoplex. And that was with Part-Time Punks, and we had some really cool shows there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one we headlined, and it was just insane. All of us were shocked.
Yeah,
we were
shocked.
really expecting
We were
that.
shocked.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was what, 3-4 years in?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing, you know. Sometimes one doesn't realize how long it takes for bands to do it. Some sure have overnight success, but you know, in our case, it did take us, you know, a lot of grinding, a lot of tours, a lot of, you know, promoting ourselves and trying to get out there for us to get to that point. And yeah, man, it's just, that's just what it takes sometimes. It's just a lot of hard work, really.
But it's astounding to me, because I joke it takes 7 years to be an overnight sensation, and you were just a few years in. And so that had to feel really good, but like an endorsement of what you were doing. Did it like, and your decision to quit your jobs, you're like, you made the right decision, let's go?
I definitely think so. I don't know, it maybe gave us more confidence.
Sure.
Seeing that, we didn't really let it go to our heads, because I remember there was like 4 bands that night, and I was talking to Joel, and I said, all of these bands brought their fans. Like, all of these bands brought someone, so I know it wasn't just us. And we continued booking LA after that. And after that, I want to say that we've sold out almost all of the LA shows. Almost.
Andrew,
after
is
that,
that correct?
Fact check.
Almost.
Fact
Listen
check.
to Andrew.
Yeah, almost. But it's just so crazy. It's so crazy to see. Still to see, you know, all of the growth that we've had in the last couple of years, and It's just wild.
It's unbelievable to us sometimes. I mean, because when you're in it, you don't really get a chance to kind of sit back and just reflect and say, oh, I did a great job. You know, we're doing great, kind of thing. And it's kind of like, you know, hey, we got to get these people in here. Let's give them a show. What bands are going to be with us? Like, yeah, what's the playlist for the DJ, you know, or what DJ are we getting for the night? And so you're always like kind of in the mix. So it's hard to kind of like look back and say, oh man, like, I don't think we enjoyed it. I don't think it was like, it was probably like a hell yeah. All right, let's go to San Francisco tomorrow kind of thing, you know?
So on to the next.
Yeah, on to the next one.
Were there any horrible letdowns after, like, you're on the higher LA and then you go to San Diego, there's 8 people on a Tuesday?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
And honestly, those are some of the coolest shows.
Yeah.
I remember the one is we had just opened up for She Passed Away in LA, or we were about to open up for She Passed Away in LA at the Echoplex maybe, and before that I think it was the night before, we were playing it at a garage.
Yeah.
We were playing in a garage somewhere, in Riverside or somewhere?
I don't don't think
Riverside.
was it
I
Riverside?
think so, yeah.
Oh,
so the original show got canceled, and like they were fumbling the day of, and we ended up playing in a garage. And
Coolest
what,
show ever.
20 people, 30 people, or
I mean, it felt like there was 100 people in that garage because it was hot as hell. But and there was fog, of course. You know, we had like 2 fog machines going probably, and lighting. So it was. We were just like,
yeah. But there's a lot of people that remember that show.
yeah.
And
They'll never forget. We'll never forget.
It's wild how that happens.
Yeah.
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 It's easy to go, fuck this.
Yeah.
This isn't sold out LA. Fuck these people.
Yeah.
And then those are the people who are like, you see them.
Yes.
You see them 40 years down the line. Trust me, because they come into the museum. I saw you play in 1982.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's
Hell
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the coolest.
So, how would you describe the genre that you're in? Goth industrial, dark, I don't know.
I think that we would always go for the most general thing to try to, hopefully appeal to everyone. And I think it's just post-punk or darkwave. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we've considered ourselves since the beginning. Yeah, darkwave, post-punk was what we felt was the closest to what we were doing. Yeah.
Okay. And how are you experimenting moving forwards or in the past? Like equipment, instrumentation, approach. You mentioned maybe going to some different studios.
Mm-hmm.
Anything different on the horizon or next level? For in the 80s, in the early 80s, any of us that had success would add a horn section. That's we saw our parents listen to this. We added a horn section. That's what we did. I'm just wondering where you might be headed.
Yeah.
Just
That
going
is-
to make more good music, or
Honestly, a horn section would be pretty sick.
That would be pretty sick. Gotta have a saxophone,
No,
of course. Yeah.
There's this
or tuba.
Tuba?
Oh, there you go. There you
Right.
go.
People would be like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
he's
dust
playing a
off the old tuba. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we're definitely experimenting with some more drum machines. We're trying to incorporate, this time a DMX. Big fan of that. We're trying to incorporate some Oberheims and synths that we don't have, and that's the connection that we made with this new producer that we're working with, and we've seemed to be bumping into him everywhere, and then we became friends, and then we were always talking about gear and the covers that we released, which was we recorded a cover from Los Prisioneros and a cover from La Unión and a cover from Asylum Party, Play Alone. So all of these he produced, all of these he worked on, and we were really happy with how they turned out. He's really cool to talk to about gear, and he seems like to get it. So, also we're trying to incorporate a 909 drum machine, and we're trying to incorporate other stuff that we've never really used, like 808 in there as well. So constantly trying to change to not keep it, to not keep it too stale, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you just
Change it up.
gearheads then?
I love it.
I mean, I think
Lusting
so.
after synthesizers?
Gear that we can't afford.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We
Yes.
can never take it on the road. In other words,
Oh yeah.
One time we used to play with Roland TR-707 drum machine live, and we lost it. It happened when we were opening for Clan of Cymox.
Yeah.
And we left it somewhere. Or maybe it wasn't the Clan of Cymox show. It might be
think it was.
confusing, but we
So
left
they
it somewhere.
stole your drum machine.
Well, it was gone, and then a year later, we end up playing at that same venue, and the sound guy's like, "Hey, do you remember this?"
Yeah.
We were like, "No way, no way."
Never happened to
Yeah,
anybody.
dude, it was there.
Wow.
Yeah. So we
And it's funny because we had already bought another one to replace that one, so now we had
Yeah.
2. So we're just,
Wow.
an embarrassment of drum machines,
Wow.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich is there, but we used to tour with the JX3P as well, and
we lost it. We left it. We left it in a show. We were playing with Clan of Cymox, and we had
there's
just
a trend here.
yeah, there's a trend here. Yeah.
we had just played with them in San Francisco.
Sure.
And we remember packing up, and I remember closing the big flight case
Yeah,
for the synth. We go to LA because we're playing Part-Time Punks on a Sunday, and right before setting up on stage, I open up the case and there's nothing. Fuck! So yeah, we left it over there, and
I'll never forget your face when you came and you're like, Joel, we don't have the JX3P. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, it's not in there. I was like, okay, what the fuck are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
So you mentioned part-time punks.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's what was that like? I
Is
guess
it a gig?
A night.
A
It was like
night,
yeah.
a night, curated by oh my God, Michael Scott.
Michael Scott.
Michael
No.
Scott. Yeah,
Stock.
and Michael Stock in L.A.
Stock.
And yeah, he just did crazy nights on a Sunday that made us book LA
Yeah.
on a Sunday. So it was, he had an established night and a crowd, and aside from that, he would also invite artists to record and record some sessions, and there's a couple of part-time punk sessions that he calls them, and we got to do one on the first time that we played with him.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
The lineups he would put together were insane. Like, we were just super happy to be on them.
I think
Yeah.
there was a song when, so I came up through punk in London, 76, 77, and there was a song called Part-Time Punks from a band called the TV Personalities.
I wonder.
So I nearly got fired. Who here's got dyed hair? A couple of people. I used to work for the government in Trafalgar Square, London, and I go into work one day. I dyed my hair. What's that stuff? Henna.
Oh,
You
yeah.
put henna.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. I thought it was going to be red. Nothing happened. And then 2 weeks later, Billy Idol's around with the bleach. I bleached my hair, but the henna was still in my hair. So it basically went carrot color. And I was late for work. I had to go into work. And then later that day, my boss comes in and says, "Yeah, we're gonna. Why don't you leave today, and we'll contact you at the end of the week." I'm like, "Okay, great. About what?" They're like, "Well, if you can still work here with this hair." Like, it was a bad thing. So we used to despise the part-time punks who would go out on a Friday night with what we would call a faux hawk, where you would push all your hair up with hairspray, and then Monday morning you could pull it down and be normal.
Yeah.
But for those of us who changed our faces in a way that couldn't be changed, we used to get into fights with them. So when you said part-time punks, I was like, "Oh, okay, what a great name for a night."
Yeah, absolutely.
So I asked our audience here to come up with some questions.
Cool.
So it's, right?
Amazing.
Is it okay
Nice.
to go through?
Absolutely.
some of these?
Sure.
Favorite bands and why? Who does anybody want to own that question?
Oh, there you go. Cool.
Nice.
Favorite bands and why?
You wanna go
No,
first?
no, you go first.
All right, I'll go first. I'll go first. Favorite bands. Huge inspiration for me is Soda Stereo, Argentinian band. Aside from that, I love Kiss, as I mentioned. Huge Kiss fan, and we're always referencing Kiss for our live shows.
Yeah.
Always trying to do something crazy. Obviously, we can't afford doing that, but we're always referencing Kiss.
Yeah.
Aside from that, of course, I love The Cure. I love Depeche Mode. My favorite guitarist is Johnny Marr. Might be controversial if I say the Smiths, but Johnny Marr is my favorite guitarist, and I try to do a lot of Johnny Marr stuff. Huge influence for me, and
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I'm being honest, it was never really bands as much as it was, people like Prince or like David Bowie. Like, these were like the influences that I kind of gravitated towards. Just these huge personalities with a ton of talent. In Mexico, there's Juan Gabriel, who is also like an inspiration, not only because of the talent that he has in his voice, but just his aura and the persona and the stage presence. I always gravitated towards that, and so. But if we're talking bands, I mean, The Cure, like you mentioned, also one of my favorites. And yeah, I would even say, one of the biggest things when we first started, Luis showed me you know, what was the new crop, the modern, you know, bands that were coming out, and why, one of the reasons why we're like, dude, this is cool, like this is possible for us. Drab Majesty, I love Drab Majesty. Choir Boy, I love as well. So just, you know, some of these newer bands that I'm also super fond of, that I feel also inspired us so much when we were first, you know, beginning the band.
You know, Lol Tolhurst from Nico is going to be here in a few weeks.
Amazing.
A couple of months.
Wow.
So yeah, this is
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this. It's super cool for me. I assumed when I started the museum it will be a long, slow, sad decline
Yeah.
of like older and older people stumbling around, me forgetting things. Like, oh, there goes Martin, he's talking about Johnny Rotten again. But it's actually younger and younger people.
It's amazing.
So
So
thank
cool.
you for being surfing on top of that. It's really lovely. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, what is your hair care routine?
Yeah. You, right? That's
No,
for you.
that's got to be one for you. You got beautiful hair, Luis, I think. You know.
The routine is honestly, having curly hair is kind of a curse. So I mean, it depends how you want to style it, right? But for me, I have to honestly shower every morning, because you can't just wet your hair and, you know, do something. I actually have to shower and, you know, put this product, which is just honestly just a pomade with like medium shine, medium hold, nothing crazy. You can do mousse. And I don't brush my hair. I just do everything with my hands, and that's pretty much it. I have to do it every morning, otherwise my hair without product is just crazy.
Yeah. I've told him to straighten his hair, you know, just to see how long it really is. It'd probably reach like down to here.
Probably yeah.
It'd be pretty cool.
You must have some kind of mustache situation.
Absolutely, yes. I use purple glue stick to keep it like this. Yeah. So there you go. If you didn't know, you want to try out the old Joey mustache, you can use purple glue stick for that.
Watty from The Exploited, I don't know if you're familiar.
I don't think so.
I think what, 70, he must be 75 years old now. He used to put egg white on his mohawk and bake his head in the oven.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that was for hair care. I don't know. There's got to be another reason there.
Sorry, this is a really long question with terrible handwriting, and I think you answered it. How did you guys met in another band, didn't you? How did you guys meet and let's start making music? And who was the one band that you shared the stage with and thought to yourself, oh shit?
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Oh shit in a good way, or well, whatever way.
Let's do both.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Shit in a good way.
Just shit in a good way.
Oh, shit in a good way. Joel and I met through our mutual friend was the drummer of that band, you know, we were in before Twin Tribes. I remember I was living in Mexico at the time, and you played in Mexico, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So I remember being
sweet.
at that show.
Yeah,
I was at that show, and I was just watching you guys, and I met Milton, the drummer, and he presented me to Joel and all of the guys. Eventually, I moved back to the U.S., and they were about to have their album release. So they invited me to do keys and to do harmonies and, you know, percussions and stuff like that, and I had a blast. And after that, I remember playing with that band for a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of how we met.
Sure.
And then, do you want to do the other part of the question?
The oh
band?
shit part?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's recent. It happened this year. We played a festival called Los Darks in. Where was that? That's in Southern California, but where?
Santa Ana.
Santa Ana.
Thanks,
Oh, man.
Andrew.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. The star of the show. MVP, man. But yeah, we got to play right before Johnny Marr, Luis's guitar hero. And we got to open also, I mean, be part of the same lineup that Caifanes, which is, you know,
Big
a
Mexican-
legendary
big
Mexican
Mexican
band. Think The Cure, but from Mexico, right? I think that's a valid
Basically, yeah, it's very valid,
that's
yeah.
like the amount of popularity that they had over there.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh shit. And then that's oh shit since we first found out, oh shit, we're practicing for this, oh shit, we're about to get on stage for this, oh shit, that's Johnny Marr's guitars. It was just a constant.
But to add a little bit to that, honestly, it seems like we've had that oh shit moment constantly through our lives, constantly through our careers. And our first tour, our very, very first tour in that summer when we still had our jobs, I remember that we opened up for a band. I don't think they're around anymore, but they were called Indra Devi, and one of the members was Matthew Setzer from Skinny Puppy and London After Midnight and stuff. So the time that we met him, that was like our very oh shit.
Yeah.
Then we opened up for Zanias, and that was like an oh shit.
Yeah.
We ended up meeting all these bands over the years, and it was always an oh shit. That she passed away when we opened up for them in San Diego for the first time. That one caused for that Michael Stock to book us for LA, and that was a double oh shit.
Yeah.
And it just kept going from there. And who are we with? Like, what do you mean we're playing in Cruel World?
Yeah.
What do you mean we're playing? What do you mean Gary Newman's right there?
Yeah.
So,
it's always like, what is happening? Like, is this real?
And how are you in those moments? You're like, hey Gary, how's it going? Or are you just like freaking out? Or do you just like run and hide?
Boom.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. We're that. We're super shy. And I remember seeing Gary Newman just walk around, and Andrew's like, dude, just go talk to him. Just go, man. Just go. It'll be fine. I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay here.
I'm
and
just gonna
watch from the
stand
back.
right here.
Yeah.
And so, does your fan get the words, Martin. Does your fandom of these artists, do you sit there as a fan, or are you sitting there as a professional going, oh, nice move with the arm, I'm going to take that move, oh, I see what they're doing with the staging, or a combination of both?
I try to keep it cool. I try to not be a crazy fan, even though I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
And then I'll the one that I'm thinking about right now is She Passed Away.
Yeah.
And I remember we were at a festival in Europe that's kind of like Cruel World or Darker Waves, and I'm just still fanboying basically, but trying to keep my cool. And then he's talking about gear, and he's like, "Look at this new guitar, and look at this and that." Now I'm like, "Okay, now I can geek out."
Now we can relate.
Yeah. All right, now we're talking. Let's go. But for the most part, I'll chill until I feel a little bit,
Well, you should probably talk about when we met Johnny Marr and Caifanes. That's the one that...
That was crazy. And just to, I'm, a couple of months before that happened, Joel, for my birthday, gave me an autobiography by Johnny Marr. And the moment that he gave me that book, I was like, wow, that's amazing, dude. That's amazing. And then when the show was, announced, I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude? No way, I'm taking this book. I'm taking it. I was on a mission that night. And it seemed like everything was chill. We hadn't met anybody, and I was somewhere backstage, and I received a call saying like, you need to get over here because Johnny Marr's about to leave. And you need to get over here. They're about to take a picture, and I'm like, fuck. I fucking run, basically Kate Bush running up that hill, in Santa Ana, and finally we make it to that little headquarters place, and everybody's there. Joel's there freaking out. Joel's freaking out because like, where the fuck is Luis? And can't take the picture without him, and I'm not gonna be in the picture without him.
Yeah.
And I was just
solidarity.
That was so cool. And I'm just like, dude, I'm here. I'm so sorry. Like, what's going on? But I didn't even have a chance to do that because I just apologized. And then everybody's just like, Caifanes, Johnny Marr, and everybody's right there, and I'm just like, hola, mucho gusto. And we took a picture, and once that was over, I was just with my book, and I was just looking for the opportunity to tell Johnny, and finally I think somebody pushed me and just like, just go. Oh, you're right. Just like, just go. And I'm just like, hi Johnny. And he signed my book, and then he's like, hey, what's your name, mate? And I was just like, Luis. What's your band? Twin Tribes. And he's like, oh, Early Cure, right? holy shit. I was like, no way you've ever heard of us, but wow.
High praise.
That's
High
a
praise.
high praise.
What did he write in the book?
He said to Lewis, and
Misspelled, but,
he,
you know.
he misspelled it. I don't give a crap. I'm gonna change my name. But he said to Lewis, and then he said, I think it says just congrats and good luck on everything. Something short, but to me, just recognizing the band, that was insane.
Gave you a guitar pick.
He gave me. He also said, I know you're not 12 years old or anything, man, but here. he gave me like 5 picks. I was like, oh my god, dude, this is the fucking best day ever, dude.
Yeah.
Best day ever.
Did you?
Magical.
I guess this didn't happen. Did you get to play one of his guitars?
I didn't, but I got so many
Next time.
pictures. I got so many pictures of his guitars. I was watching his techs do the sound check and all of his guitars. I was checking out. Every guitar had its own capo, and oh man, that was so cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Which is back to the original question. Like, do we also watch the artists and see and learn? Absolutely. Like when we were seeing their stage show, Luis was like, "Dang, look at all these guitars! Like, this is like we could totally do this, and I could have one in a different key with the capo, and that's easy." When we toured with Boy Harsher, like we saw their amazing like lighting setup, and we're like, "Dude, we should like totally do that too." But yeah, I mean, you've got to learn. You've got to like, they're there for a reason, and if you're not taking that time to, pay attention, then it's a detriment to your own self and to your band, right? Because those people that are doing it at a high level, they've been there, done that, and are successful for a reason. Yeah.
So you mentioned Kiss a few times. You also mentioned a couple of times like you had an idea for something, but it was out of your price range. So if you, and I don't know if this is a question from Jody Sargent or Angelique Rikoff. If you had unlimited funds to do some staging, some visual thing, what would that be?
That is so cool. I remember it honestly.
Other than more guitars.
Every time we are on tour before a show and there's a TV in the green room, we're watching a Kiss show live. So I know so many. There's this one crazy setup where they have a sphinx. Like literally, they build a sphinx and they come out of the sphinx's mouth. And I thought that was so sick. So, oh man, I can just imagine like the visuals with the lights, with maybe pyro and freaking. I want to have a guitar that smokes and freaking does a bunch of crazy shit. So, honestly, I don't even know, but that's things that come to mind.
Yeah, no, pyro for sure. Like, let's burn shit, I think we had pyro once in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And you could feel the heat, like, because it was coming from the top, I think. Oh man, I'll never forget that feeling. It's just the coolest thing,
Yeah. But little by little, we've been adding stuff to the live shows, and it started with visuals, and then it started with programming 2 lights, just 2 fixtures, and then we upgraded those to 6, and then constantly trying to do grow, I guess, what we can afford.
And we traveled with fog machines for like the first 2 or 3 tours. Like the fog machine was basically a guitar. You got to bring the fog machine, kind of thing. So we've always had that that presence of mind to say like, yes, somebody is gonna pay a ticket to come see you because they love the music and they have that connection to you. But we want to give you more. We want to give you a show. We want to make sure that your night is incredible, because next time we come around, we want you to come back, right? And we want you to remember this. If you don't come back to a Twin Tribe show, we want you to remember it for the rest of your life.
So now we make lots of stuff here. So I'm thinking we could make if we all stick around for a few hours, we could make like a cardboard paper mache sphinx for tomorrow's show. Might only be like this high. You'd have to like crawl.
It's Spinal Tap.
Well, but
The illusion.
This is Pigface scenery above your heads. It's 22 feet high. You see the words hanging over there? The only constant thing is change.
Yeah.
That was for a band called Test Department, 1997. 6 of those banners cost $90.
Oh.
And when that's lit in a club, just the words are just hanging in it's amazing. It's
so cool.
Elmer's glue and, and paper.
DIY, man.
I love it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
there's lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So cool.
Beautiful.
Well, we've had a decent hour and a bit. Does anybody have a last question?
Yeah, I do.
For these guys?
When I first heard about you guys, I thought it was Frankie Goes to Hollywood. But how'd you get your name?
Honestly, just spitballing. We had a notebook with a bunch of name ideas, and I think honestly, if you had heard those ideas, you would be like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna listen to that. But we had like some bizarre combination of words, and I remember the way that we were trying to market was a very mysterious, almost cultish way.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember researching different names of cult, and I bumped into one that had the name Tribes in it. And Joel's the one that came up with that because I think that we had twin something already.
Yeah.
So Joel's the one that made that connection, and honestly, like I think that we gave it a little bit of meaning almost because it really meant nothing, and you know, packaging it with the music and with the image or makeup or whatever, that's kind of like, I guess we brought it to life.
Yeah. I mean, do a quick like a little Easter egg here, right? We were between Twin Tribes and I think Young Shadows, which is like, what the
Young
fuck?
Shadow.
Yeah. And so we're like, okay, Young Shadows, all right. So okay, we gotta look it up, make sure nobody has it. There's a rapper called Young Shadows. All right, that's out.
Damn.
Darn. Twin Tribes it is. Yeah.
Wow.
So-
But honestly,
So-
there was also one band called Twin Tribe,
Oh, yeah.
singular,
In Jamaica.
singular, in Jamaica.
Singular, yeah.
But we were like, man, fuck that. We're still going to be Twin Tribes.
we have an S. That's extra.
So
yeah.
I lied about that being the last question because I flipped the page on the sheet. I have to ask, how was the UK?
Oh, that was amazing. UK was amazing.
It's awesome. Every time we've been, and we've only been there 2 times. 2 times?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every time we go, the shows, all of them have been sold out in the UK. And it's just really cool to be able to drive on the wrong side of the road, you know? So-
At
But-
95 miles an hour.
yeah. For us Americans, it's kind of, you know, really exciting. But yeah, it's the fans are amazing. You know, we got to meet a lot of them, and I can't complain. I mean, maybe the weather, right? This past time was brutal. Never a dash of sun.
Yeah, that's where we found out that it can rain all the time. Like,
Yeah.
like the movie The Crow, no, it
Yeah,
can
it
rain all the
can
time when
rain
you're
all
in the UK.
Yeah.
It was also our first time playing Scotland.
Yes,
Oh,
Scotland.
So that was awesome, and
Such a beautiful part
beautiful,
of the world.
beautiful.
It is. We got to go to Stonehenge at one point. We had some time to go to Stonehenge, and it's just like, yeah, you know, it's magic. It's magic.
I do have 2 more questions because any literary influences, books or authors?
Ooh, do you want to go first?
Yeah, it was too good to leave that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember at first. I do remember using or trying to seek inspiration from books, and one of them that my cousin gave me in Spanish, an H.P. Lovecraft book. So I remember trying to get a little bit of ideas from there. Another one, my fiance gave me a book called The Kabbalion that really influenced me, and I think those are the 2 that come to mind for me.
Yeah. No, not so much for me. I don't read at all, Anna. But yes, I actually do read a lot. But I don't think it's so much influence like us for our music or whatever. I think more so, for me when it comes to the band movies, we made Shadows, and a lot of that was based on like kind of like having that in mind, having these movies in mind. The Dark Crystal. The Hunger was one of them as well. So that kind of thing and whenever I'm watching movies, you know, sometimes like there'll be a word, and I'll pause the TV and I was like, I like that word, you know. It's like I guess it's like a newer method of back in the day, I think, and I think this came from David Bowie. He would just get different words from the newspaper, cut them all up, put them in a hat or something, mix it all up, and then he would like pull different words and then kind of try to create a song to that, or to at least get some strike inspiration. So it's like a modern way of kind of doing that. I'm just like, oh, I like that word, let me write that down. Oh, I like that phrase, let me write it down. I think Cauldron of Thorns came about from like a movie that I saw. I don't even remember the movie anymore, but it was something along those lines. You know, they said thorns or they said cauldron at some point, or maybe in the same sentence, and then it was like, hey, that kind of like sounds cool together, right? But anyways, that's the inspiration I take.
David J. told a story about they worked on The Hunger with Bauhaus.
Yeah, they
And
come
he
out
said
there.
there was a jukebox backstage, and he was by the jukebox, and he said he felt an energy behind him, and he was like, oh, but he said, as I'm telling the story, I can feel it now, and he turned around, and it was Bowie.
Oh,
And and he remembered the song that Bowie picked on the jukebox, and he put it on his phone, and then he just danced on stage how Bowie was dancing. It's like wild. It's interesting to hear you mention The Hunger.
That's
So
amazing.
cool.
That's so cool.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
Well, I think is that a good point to stop? And thank you so much for coming in here and sharing all of this and inviting these people. Thank you for coming and experiencing this. Good luck with the show tomorrow.
Thank you.
And I hope you will consider this downstairs and upstairs home in the future, and a tour stop. You're welcome to stay upstairs next time you come through town, as long as it's not booked up there. And you can wander around. I can make you a cappuccino. And
Wow.
Amazing.
Thank
I
you
mean,
so
the
much.
hospitality.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
thanks.
Martin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And are you going to be signing some stuff? Is that happening?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
of
So
course.
I take a break for a bit, and then you'll be signing some stuff up front. With some-
Absolutely, yes.
So I want to get a
Yes.
couple of those albums this year.
Sure. Yeah, we have some merch, we have some posters, we have some stuff. We'll be signing, taking pictures,
Yeah.
and our friend Barrett from Boot Black says hi.
Yeah, very.
Whoa! They stayed upstairs.
Yeah.
They signed a boot. You want to sign a boot for us?
Sure.
Hell yeah,
Hey.
sign a boot. Fuck yeah.
Fucking A. Good deal.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Y'all are
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.